All right, beautiful friends, it's Kate here with the Mom Boss Mentor, and today we are traveling over to the other part of the world, which I'm really excited about for you to get to know Kendria. And she is a author, publisher, coach, teacher, public speaker. She's like the complete package, and she just launched a new book. And I'm so
Mhm,
excited for you to get to know, what her journey was from, what she used to do to
mhm.
how she was able to monetize that and serve others in her industry. So, do you want to say a little bit about yourself and tell us where you are from?
Sure. My name is Kendria Johnson. I consider myself to be the teacher coach. I help teachers become great by bringing them out of burnout. So I started teaching about 22 years ago in Dallas, Texas, my home city and state. And I was very proud of my job. I was very excited. I found my superpower very early in my life from spending time in corporate America for a little bit of time and then, finally accepting the call of teaching. But around about year 13, 14, that joy turned to mourning because I was starting to feel the stress that all teachers know very, very well. Anybody in the field of education knows we get beat up a lot. We get our time taken away from us a lot. And we don't mind sometimes because we love what we do. And that was me. I loved what I was doing, but I was exhausted. I was exhausted. I had no time for myself, friends, family. I would just spend my weekend sleeping. And so I realized that I wasn't really living, I was surviving. And, it started to take a toll on my emotional health and my physical health. So when it started to take control over me physically and medically, I was like, yeah, I got to do something different because I literally was living on caffeine and carbohydrates, and that's not a good diet. And it was taking
That's
its
not a good-
its its toll on, yeah, not a good diet. Yeah. Soda pop and chips. No, you can't live off of that, especially when you're in your 30s. That just doesn't work anymore, right?
No,
So
it does not work.
it does not. Your body's like, girl, you ain't 12. What's wrong with you? You got a metabolism to keep up. But yeah, so I had to do some drastic things to take inventory of my life, take back control of what the things that I was giving away, the time and the efforts that I was giving away for free, and basically say no to this and say yes to me. And I chronicle all of that in the journey in the book about how I was that teacher that would be, there in the mornings and then there in the afternoon, didn't have a social life, and my hair was falling out, and
Mhm.
everything was just falling apart physically. And I was like, no, 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 no. I'm 36 years old. What am I doing with losing my hair over stress? That's not
Mhm.
cool. So that's just a little bit about me.
So I think you really pointed out a lot of key things, and identifying those health issues or
Mhm,
identifiers, right? Like burnout can affect people from anxiety, from
mhm,
depression, from eating, emotional
mhm.
eating or survival eating versus eating, to live.
Yeah.
But also just that, like, to lose your hair. So I think that
Mhm.
there's people who are going to hear your story and say, me too.
Yeah.
I'm there. I need to get off that bus. And so
Yeah.
what did you do to pivot to reclaim yourself?
Well, several things, Kate, and thank you for asking me. And I forgot to mention, thank you so much for having me on your show as well. I always just
Oh,
start
yeah.
with that. Thank you so much. But a few things happened. The last year I taught in the USA, I went on medical leave 3 times, and you're talking about a person that never hardly ever took off. And I was on medical leave. That means I was forced to stay at home through the doctor's orders, right? So I went to the hospital on a third leave. I had to go to the hospital for 5 days, and it was all due to that wagon wheel of stress that was in the middle. And while I'm in the hospital on this last medical leave, I said I have to do something different, even if it's just quit this job, because I was working in a very toxic school. And you would think it was because of the kids. It wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't. It was the adults. Well,
No,
yeah, all these
it's the
mandates
office
and all of these,
politics,
yeah.
right? Yeah.
Politics, mandates, unnecessary hours we were putting in, and you have to work on Saturdays. And I was like, no, I'm not going to work on Saturdays. Well, this is going to affect your evaluation. It was a lot of pressure, a lot of bullying too, a lot of corporate bullying there. But I had to do an overhaul. So I knew the job had to be the first to go. So I knew I was going to quit at the end of the year. I wasn't coming back there. But this job fell into my inbox one day, and it was a job overseas. And I filled out the application and didn't finish it. Didn't finish it. They called me anyway. They called me anyway. It was like, we see that you teach math and science. We have some positions. We Math and science teachers are needed all over the world. So math and science teachers, you're a hot commodity. Use it as your leverage. So I came, I finished the application with her. She said, we'll pay for room and board. We'll pay for your way over here. We'll pay for your visa. Blah, blah, where can I sign up? Go ahead and put my name on that list. But after I got here, Kate, you're waiting for me to say, oh, everything got better and it was sunshine and roses and everything, unicorns, butterfly. No, no, it's still stressful. There's still issues. You still got to deal with the kids and the parents and the curriculum and the politics of this new place that I'm in. And it was the same type of stress and it was following me home again. So that's when I knew that I was the one that had to change. I had to put myself as a priority. I had to say no to some things that I wasn't going to have when I, got here. I did 3 things. I called a therapist. I called a
Okay.
therapist overseas and I said, I need help. Okay. Second thing I did is I got a psychiatrist because the psychiatrist can give me the medicine because I had anxiety really bad. My anxiety was so bad I had the shakes, had the jitters. My hand would do that. When I would drink water and stuff, my hand would shake. That's how bad the anxiety was. And so I knew that that person could give me some medicine to lower my anxiety. Then the third thing I did was I just found a friend, someone I can talk to, like a mentor, someone who had been over here before, been here and had done that. And then I said, can I call you once a week? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it here if I don't talk to someone. And so I did all 3 of those things within a year, told no one what I was going through, told no one who I was talking to. But at the end of the year, something changed. I changed, my mentality changed. I started taking care of myself. I took everyone's advice about how to do that. And I just started getting in touch with me. Getting in touch with me. Have you ever asked anyone, what makes you happy and they can't tell you?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that's the problem. That's part of the problem, because if you don't know what makes you happy, then you can't look to a job to do it, a husband or wife to do it, or kids to do it, or anything to do it. Because if you don't know, then they won't either. You teach people how to treat you. So when I got back in touch with me and I said, this is important to me. I like having time to myself. I like going on vacation. I like having bubble baths. I like spas, whatever the things that I like to do, I'm going to do those things. Come hell or high water, I'm going to do it. So I made me a priority and I made a list and I fulfilled that list 10 times over. And I'm the happiest in my life that I've ever been. Now you're waiting for me to say, hey, oh, that means your job is great. No, they've extended our hours as of this week. They've extended our hours. No, the world of education still has its issues. I can't do anything about that. I'm not that powerful. But the way I handle things has changed.
Right.
And so
you control the way you react to your situation.
Exactly.
And you are taking, the time to build something for you that fills your cup, which is your book and your course, and allowing people to go through, and develop those skill sets so that they can avoid having to do the 3 things that you said, like that's our hope at the end of the day. Right. Or no, what is it that you are hopeful that the person who goes in and says, like, I need to read her book, like I need this a day because she's got the goods, and I identify whether they're a teacher or not, right? Because
right, yeah,
too. So what do you have? Why should somebody go and grab your book right now? Like what can they expect?
Oh, good. Well, if you go and grab my book right now, first off, you hear all of the stories. And it's not just my story. It's teachers that are around me that had worse stories than me. So I wrote their stories in my book, leaving their names out, changing names to protect the innocent kind of thing. But, the stories we tell are so similar to the stories that everyone else is telling me, that it's not even teachers, just principals, people, parents, homeschool parents are coming to me saying, I have the same kind of issue with boundaries. I'm having that same kind of issue with people calling me at all times of night. So once you get the book, there's 6 easy steps inside of the book that help you prioritize your goals, put things on paper. Pen and paper are just magical. For some reason, something magical about writing things down. I will not do this and I will do that if this happens, so on and so forth. And getting those steps. And then this book just introduces you to me. This tells you my story. Then if you want to go further and you need help, like I needed help, you could always call me. There's my contact information is in the book. Go on my website and figure out ways that we can work together and I can help you, hold you accountable to some of the things that you say that you want to do, right? As accountability coach. But yeah, if you get this book today First off, this is only half the story. Me and Kate can't go over it. It ain't enough hours in the day to go over all the stories that I can tell you about this foolishness that goes on in education. You've read the news. You've seen it. Teachers are walking out at enormous rates. They're quitting the job, not coming back. Things are happening that are beyond our control. Well, I can control it. I had the best day ever today. And it was so hectic. It was crazy. Teachers didn't even show up. I had to cover their classes. And it was fine because I know me and I know how to go within myself, do some breathing, walk outside, listen to some music, do whatever it takes for me to change my mindset and my brain activity to help me. If I can survive burnout, anyone can. And that's what you will learn from this book.
I love it. And you know what? I think that is such a powerful message that we are not, today's state does not have to be tomorrow's or a year from now. You can take action to change, even though you can't control everything around you and can't change necessarily what's happening around you or to you. You can change the state of how you react to it and how you let it affect you. So I think it's a powerful message because some people are ready to leave their job. They're at that breaking point, like I'm out, right? Some people are content. They feel like they're stuck. Right? There's people that feel like I have no choice and this is my life and I have to just accept it and be miserable. You don't, right? You can change. You're still doing teaching, but you can change the way you appreciate that and do something to share and add light to others. And then some people go into the cycle, like you said. You thought that it would be different on the other side of the world, and guess what? It's this same. So you had to break the cycle, which really started with you. And so I think your message, yes, you're a teacher and a coach of teachers and the best at that and have a book about that. But I think even as a parent and as a mom boss, you know, those skills align with any industry. And it's a global issue of people not feeling appreciated, valued, and feeling overwhelmed or anxious or depressed or burnt out. And we can break that cycle. And that's what it's all about. So thank you so much. Everyone that's listening, go into the comments. You can get all of her links right there. I challenge you to go and grab her book and read it and then pay it forward to someone else, you know, use it and share it. Let's spread the message. And of course, subscribe to this episode because we got more stories of more moms that have broken free and found their joy and found their voice and found their value. So thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Just amazing.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate.